right, Brian Kilmeade and Paul Mauro are with us now. Our hearts break for all the victims, and the NYPD gathering here in New York City, Brian, as an extreme show of support, necessary support for one of the fallen.
Yeah, I mean, thousands show up there. A lot of them aren't working today. They're going to show up early in the morning. They're going to lock down that street, and they're going to show a tribute to this veteran who's been not quite 4 years on the job. I did not know this, but over 1,000 Bangladeshis serve in the 32 to 34,000 man and woman force, and they play a big part. Extremely patriotic guy. The wrong place, as this guy made a right turn and walked in and shoots him, and it's just hard to make sense of that. So, and we're still trying to piece together what happened that day.
Yeah, we're going to cover this thing from top to bottom here, Paul Mauro, but it's interesting because, you know, there is some politics involved in this. And you had the police union coming out today saying they don't want this to be about politics. Zoran Mamdani, their question was legitimate, saying, listen, this shouldn't be about politics. Let's ask him, how many times have you been to a police funeral? When was the last time you were at a police funeral? When was the last time you sponsored legislation in Albany that had something beneficial for the police department? And the answer is no, never.
No, I know, and he was there today, and so as he should be. But, you know, the thing about it is that the remarks that you refer to relative to him being not only sort of police oblivious, but virulently anti-police, he really made it one of the pillars of his platforms going back a couple of years before he was in the state assembly. He was almost 30 years old, so we can't ascribe this to the folly of youth or somebody who's just a little misguided, reading the wrong newspapers, reading the wrong blogs, going down the rabbit hole. This is who he is as an adult. It's very tough, especially, I've just come from here, so literally just off the subway, and I can tell you there are uniforms all the way to the horizon. Yeah. And all of those people are aware of the fact that relatively recently, this is a mayoral candidate and very well maybe the next mayor of New York City who has expressed virulent hatred for those who serve.
I mean, look at this. On Facebook, April 2025, shared an article about a police shooting. Quote, this is why we need to defund the police and invest in alternatives. Right. Similar comments in May, and in May, two separate comments, one on Instagram on a video. So this is not the old guy before he was an assemblyman. Yeah, he was making comments in 2020. That's fine. You don't really walk it back in 2025 until the shooting.
And the context is important, Brian, because he came out yesterday and he said, listen, this was frustration because of the George Floyd death. He said, the reason I said all that in 2020, we've got you on record a cup of coffee ago saying defund the police. Keep defunding the police with negative and detrimental comments about
But Trace, think about this. We all saw George Floyd. But his reaction is, the problem is, we have to defund police. His reaction to that is not the way you react if you aspire to be a leader in any city, in any time, to get rid of law enforcement and send untrained social workers out to change society. Good luck with that. Did you ask the social worker?
Paul, I want to take in this moment here. So this is happening live right here in New York City right now. As you can see, the father of Diderol Islam and his family gathering around his casket. Your thoughts, Paul?
Well, this is the toughest moment, you know, because this is the last that you're going to see him. Yeah. So usually what happens is there's a slow procession, as you see. The police are all lined up. They're saluting, or they're in formation. There'll be a helicopter flyover, I suspect, which is also a very, very moving moment. You can feel it coming in your belly as they come over you. It's very dramatic, very fitting, and it's tough. It's a very tough moment for all those cops gathered right there. They see themselves in this. They see their colleagues and their relatives in this. It's one of those moments, as tragic as it is, that if you are a member, you're proud.
Yeah. It is interesting, Paul. You know, you look at this and you know there is certain decorum. You know there are certain you know, things that they go by. There is a policy. There's a way to do this. And all of this gets exploded across the country because of the national media presence here. Right. And it's a big part of all of this.
You know, this is something that the NYPD twigged to a couple of decades ago. Some of these things were relatively shambolic in the execution. And so the NYPD formed something called the ceremonial unit, and it matters because sometimes you are about your processes and procedures and ceremonies. And so they want to make sure that they do these things sensitively with the compliance of the family. They have liaisons to the families. These things are very choreographed purposely to make sure that they send the right message of gravity and solemnitude. They want people to feel it, because you're right. This is, in a way, one of the ways that the NYPD not only commemorates its fallen, but it's a forum for the NYPD to project our respect and how much we're going to miss our officers who fall in the line of duty.
After his passing, he's been promoted to detective first grade. Let's listen here for a moment. Paul, can you talk a little bit more about what we know about the start to his service and the time at which he joined the New York Police Department?
Right. So to contextualize it, he actually joined right in the penumbra of the entire George Floyd thing, when people were running away from being police officers. My understanding is he came up through the traffic division and then cognizantly made the choice to roll over to being a gun carrier, somebody who was going to be running towards gunshots, going into dangerous situations. And again, this was at a point where people were running away from the PD, and you see the follow-on effects of that now, because we are, depending on the metrics, 5, 6, 7, maybe as many as 10,000 bodies down in the NYPD. We have that many fewer uniformed officers.
Right.
So the fact that he stepped up at that point, I think, says a lot about him personally, his state of mind and his character. And I believe now, you know, I haven't had a chance to speculate, to check on this rather, so it's a little bit of speculation, but because I just came from the event, but I believe he's the first Bangladeshi to die line of duty. He might even be the, the first Muslim officer to die line of duty. The NYPD has always been a microcosm of New York City and immigration. It's a way in and a way up for the new arrivals in the old days, the old Ellis Islanders. This is what the NYPD looks like now. When I worked intelligence, these are what my officers look like. Yeah. It's very, very tough for me to watch.
You'll notice that the rain, Brian, is pouring down. Yeah. We're all under a severe thunderstorm watch here in New York City. I believe it's in effect till 8 o'clock tonight as we do watch this funeral procession, and you see the support of all the men and women in blue and saying goodbye to one of their colleagues just too soon.
And not only that, Sandra, think about it, he was in uniform, but it was really overtime. You know, he was doing detail on Park Avenue, one of the richest places with some of the most prestigious corporations in the country. And I was talking to the police chief a couple of days ago, it was yesterday, and he said that if the guy came at 6 o'clock, and I'm sure that was his intention, he would have gotten another armed guard, and that might have been able to neutralize him.
Yeah. Let's listen here for 1 second.
Brian, we've seen too many moments like this where we've said goodbye to a police officer killed in the line of duty or off duty. Officer Islam, 36 years old, working private security detail in uniform at the time of the attack. He was a 3.5-year veteran of the NYPD. He was remembered by Mayor Adams earlier when he spoke as a true blue New Yorker who embodied the city. He is survived by his wife, who we saw earlier, who is pregnant with their 3rd child, and 2 young sons.
Yeah, it's just amazing how much was really at stake and how many lives have been affected. You saw how upset his dad was yesterday, obviously as his only son, and then you see how close the Bangladeshi community is.
Again, let's listen in.
We're going to continue watching the procession live here in New York City, saying goodbye to Officer Islam. We'll be right back.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.